Alright, so in the last video we set up user authentication so users could register, log in, sign out. So now that we know who the user is and when they're logged in, let's go ahead and set up the blog posting ability. So first thing we want to do is model out these blog posts. So we can go into our blog app here that we created, into models.py. And now we want to create a model for a blog post. So we could call it something like post, and the fields we could have on it are maybe title, content, author, when it was last updated, and when it was last created. So we can do class post that inherits from models.model, which we imported at the top. It gets automatically imported by Django. Now we can set the fields. So we'll say title equals models.carfield, and we have to specify the max length. We can just do this as 100. And we'll do a content, which is actually the post itself, and this will just be a text field, very similar to a character field above, just no limit on the amount of characters. Then the author. So now this is the actual user who's creating the blog post, whoever's signed in. So now to set this as the user, we're going to want to use a foreign key. So it'll point to another table, and that table is the user table that comes built in with Django. So we'll make this a foreign key, and now we have to specify here which other model this relates to. And we want to do user, right? But we can't just type in user. And the way to do this within Django is to use something called get user model. So we have to use from django.contrib.auth import get user model, and you can see here it returns the user model that is active in this project. And then we have to just call that function, so get user model, and invoke it. And then on delete, so if we delete the user, what should happen to their posts? In this case, we'll just delete the posts. So that's models.cascade. Then the other fields we could add are updated at, which is a date time field, and auto now false, auto now add false, but we want to make this auto now to true. And then we want to have a created at, which is very similar. So we can actually just Shift Alt down arrow to copy this and call it created at, and then instead of auto now, it's auto add, auto now add, like so. So updated at and created at are common to just include on every model, so you can keep track of when it was last updated. And to do that, you use this auto now equals true. So every time it's updated, it'll get updated, and auto now add is it gets updated just when it's created, when it's added. So awesome. We have the model. We can override the $string method. So def _str _self. Whatever we return here will be like the string representation. So for seeing it in things like the admin, and we can just return self.title, and we have to use self here since this is a class. It'll reference the specific instance of each post. Awesome. So go ahead and make sure that's saved, and that looks like a nice blog model. So we can go ahead and run the migrations. So open up your terminal, make sure your virtual environment's activated and you're in the right folder. We can Python manage.py make migrations. Perfect. Then we see that it's created this migration 001. So if we come into the blog app migrations, we see 001. So these are just instructions on how the database schema changes. But now we have to actually apply those to the database. So we say migrate, and beautiful. Those changes are migrated. Now the next thing we want to do is actually add some new posts. So let's do that via the nice Django admin. So head over to admin.py, and let's just register this with the admin so we can go ahead and create some posts via that interface. So the first thing we want to do is import those posts. So from .model import posts, and then we just need to register it with the admin. admin.site.register, and then the model, so post. Nice, and then let's go ahead and run the server. Head over to the admin, so localhost 8000/admin. Enter your username and password that you use to create the super user. And also now we see blog and posts. So let's go ahead and add a few. So we can add a post. Create this is my first post. We'll just add some boilerplate text, and the author we select from this dropdown, and I can make it DJ VAC. You can make it yourself. So we can just add a few more. This is my second post. Again, the same author, and save and add one more. And we can make this the other user. Nice, so now we have these 3 posts. So in the next video, we're gonna make it so you can actually view the posts on the site. And then we'll go ahead and move forward with creating the posts from the site, add a little bit of navigation, and add some styling with crispy forms. If you're interested in a full-fledged Django course that covers all of these topics and way more, check out the link in the description. I just posted a full course with 0 to Mastery, which is a great site to learn all things programming. So go ahead and check it out in the link below. Otherwise, be sure to subscribe and like this one for the next video.